And they're go, 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 go in Monza, and off they go. Darthush has got a great start, and I'm just going to look in behind here and just make sure everybody gets round turn one cleanly. Oh, there's somebody off there. Looks like a Red Bull. Was that Linsky? I'm not too sure. But that turn one is always a terrible corner, but looks to be that everybody else got a fairly decent start there. Let's just see, was that Linsky? Wheel-to-wheel racing going on here on the first lap in Monza this evening with PRF1 Lauda division. There's a Ferrari making a move in the outside there, and he makes it stick, and he passes beautifully. I think that was Godwin making a move on Daddy Day Snipes. But tight stuff going on here. Let's just ride on board with Darthush. He's on a bit of a roll as well, and he's wanting past these two cars in front of him. And here goes the first move, and he makes that beautifully past that Aston Martin, and he's going to go for a double move, and he's going to take that. Oh my God, he takes two of them in one go. That's Darthush, and he's on a blast here at Monza, and he is showing the drivers how to do it as he approaches Hosty now, and he is absolutely cooking like a Novan chip this evening. And let's have a look. Yep, this guy has got pace to waste. I don't know where he's getting it from, but he's just making like these other drivers have stopped dead as Darthush goes right up the tail of Godwin in that Ferrari. And I honestly fear for Godwin here, because the pace of this kick and the driving capabilities of Darthush right now is exceptional. Outside move. Is he going to do it in the Ferrari? Yes, he is. And Godwin's not going to let him have it too easily. Outside and inside to go round by each other. But yes, Darthush makes it stick, and he now puts himself in the second position. And I think in the last 8 months, this is the best bit of overtaking I have seen in quite some time. And I would say to you, sir, take a thickened bow. That was unbelievable and incredible for our viewers to watch. I'm Gavin Bass 1, this is PRF1, and this is Monza at its very best. Oh, he's got a lot of pace here coming out of that corner. Can he make it move? He can, and he's going to say goodbye to Spreader. And Dystopian puts himself up into fourth position. What an example of patience and maturity, and he makes it work. But I'll tell you what, Spreader will not take that line down, and Schmitty has just got himself a 3-second penalty. So have a look at Darthush. He's a
Tuesday night, turbo scream and the crowd's alive. With Gavin on the mic, it's a wild ride. Turn one chaos, he's stopped inside. Look at the grip, that's feckin' tight. He's calling every move with that Irish bite. This lat's bad, he's taking flight. High octane, no regrets. Pushing limits, placing bets. DRS, wide attack mode lit. smoke and sparks, we chase the sun. Let's fucking run! And he's gone for it! Tell me inside what I load! That blows a titanium, I'm telling ya! Pit lane hustle, strategy games, undercuts over steel wheel, two-wheel flames. Every apex kissed, every second counts. One mistake and you're out for the round. Lap 38 and it's still tight. Ties are gone, but he still fights. This ain't just a race, it's war tonight. With chemical and ever outside. PRF1, PRF1. We race like legends, we don't just run. Hearts beat like pistons under the gun. PRF1, keep it lit when I'm done. And that is how you do it. Madness, boy, PRF1 forever. We'll see you on track. Keep it lit, lads.
Good evening, everybody. Looks like everything's working. Gavin Bass on the microphone this evening, and it's PRF1 round 5, and it's in Spa in Belgium this evening with a sprint race and a feature race straight afterwards. It's a one-shot quali, and it's a Tuesday night, and I think the weather could be changeable. I'm not just 100% sure. Good evening, guys that are watching on Twitch. Really nice to have you on board. Always great to have a bit of a chat. Gaza, maybe you can explain why you hit the wall last night. It was totally, I don't know how to describe it. You were just driving normally, and then the next minute you're in the wall. What in the name of God happened to you? But anyway, there it is. As I thought, there is a little bit of rain in this quali. And that's unfortunate to say the least. Belgium is renowned for its changeable weather, and we are in the pits at the moment, and the guys are just getting their setups ready, and they're going to go on their one-shot quali. Gazzer says it's full wets, so it's full wets for the quali, and I'm not too sure what the exact format is here, but I think the one-shot quali does both races. Maybe you can correct me on that. So it's fight for your lives, guys, and you must stay within the white lines or you will be disqualified from the quali and you will find yourself at the back of the grid. Gazzer's understanding is it's a one shot for both sessions, which is good because you just might get a dry session for the feature race. I must admit it. That would be nice. But this is your Lauda division on a Tuesday night, and a very clean race is, and I'm looking forward to some fantastic racing again tonight, as always. If you do happen to watch the stream back, you will see a few wee highlights of last week's race in Monza. Some fantastic racing by Dar Osh, and in general, a really, really good race was had, apart from a couple of little incidents. But this is round 5, this is Spa, and we're just waiting on the guys to ready up. And Linsky has left the session. I don't know what happened to Linsky, but let's try and get him back. Will I try to do it? Yes, I will. Doesn't seem to be online. Oh, there he's there. Invite sent to Linsky. Oh. And I'm just going to ride on board somebody random tonight, saying it's a one-shot, so it's very hard to cover a one-shot quali. So I'm going to ride on board Miko. So off he goes up the hill. Just changes it down into 7th gear there. Quite a lot of spray coming off the tyres this evening. And let's just get the track map up. And lap data enabled. Some people have tried the medium or the intermediates, and some have tried the wets, full wets. So it'll be interesting to see what the times are this evening. So it does say dry for the rest of the day, so hopefully this is the only wet patch. So guys, you're in for a good old fast race here at Spa in Belgium this evening. Once we get this one over and done with. So who kept it on track and who made a boo-boo, we will soon see. But we're still on board with Mako as he finishes off the lap here, and he's just going to slam it into this right-hander and an immediate left, and he's going to go over. He's going to go over the line now. Oh, there you have it. Godwin first at 158.107, Trappy at 158.551, and Dystopian at 159.466, followed by Viper fifth at 2 minutes exactly. So a challenging quali to say the least, and Godwin gets himself into first position on the grid for this evening's sprint race at Spa. And you can see clearly there all of your drivers: Godwin, Trappy, Dystopian, Viper, Mako. Hi Axel, hi Gareth, Shaggy, hi Shaggy, hi Clem, hi the boss, hi Linsky, SDRS, Race, Slippery, Salmon, Schmitty, Andrew Pip Smith, Jeff Boom, and hiya Andrew. Nice to see you out as usual. Jeff was the only one that didn't get a lap in this evening. Gazer's complaining about having no grip. You know what to say, Gaza, about the bad workman. He blames us. Now, it looks like it's dried up, so they will be frantically adjusting their wings, obviously their fuel. It will be a shit or bust race here, especially a sprint race, so I would say there could be a little bumping, to say the least. I'm Gavin Bast1. This is PRF1 on a Tuesday evening, and it's your Lauda division, and it's race 5 of the new season here at Spa in Belgium. Wishing everybody on the grid good luck as always, and may the best man win this evening. And we're just going to wait now until the players get themselves comfortably set up for this first sprint race this evening at Belgium. In Northern Ireland today, we've had a beautiful day, a few showers about. The sea is calm, and earlier on we had dolphins showing themselves. Dolphins. It was beautiful to watch them just rising in front of the caravan window. Must say I had a lovely day watching them. But we're not talking about dolphins tonight. We're talking about F1 cars, and we're talking about pride and who will get that absolute and utter victory tonight. Dark Ush is not on the grid this evening, so it's all to play for. I know he was a reserve last week, but what a he had pace to burn, to say the very least. And if you look back at the very beginning of the stream, you will see a lot of footage just from that race. Slippery Salmon, good evening, sir. Half a lap practice and a new setup. Want a good idea? Or wasn't a good idea, sorry. I need my glasses on. Not sure if the guys are having a formation lap tonight, but we will see when it starts. I'll try to cover everything as best as I possibly can, as always. Very, very busy here in Northern Ireland. The British Open starts tomorrow, and that golf course is literally just about 3 miles from where I live. And so I'm praying that the internet is good to me tonight. I've adjusted all my settings, and here we go. The formation lap, that's good. So that gives me a chance to get the telemetry on and the tires. And we'll just run down the drivers one by one. We've got Godwin in the P1 at the moment in the Ferrari, followed by Strappe in the Aston Martin in second, Dystopian third in the Racing Bull. In fourth, on piloting the Mercedes tonight, is PRF1 Viper. And Mako is on board the Alpine this evening with Fuse Demon driving the other Racing Bull. Axel, one of the very fast guys in here, and I'm expecting him to do well. He's driving the Haas. And our good friend Gareth Minimad is driving the McLaren this evening. Followed closely in 9th position in the kick of Shaggy 653. And behind him in the Williams, we have the boss man Clem, who's incredibly difficult to pass at the best of times. The Red Bull, as always, is driven by Linsky tonight, and I wish Linsky a very, very good race as always. SDRS Racing in the Alpine and Mike Legend. Slippery Salmon in the McLaren, he's Gazzer. And Schmitty, hey Schmitty, another good guy who always sends me lovely texts thanking me for some good streams, and I'm always. He's in the Mercedes, and behind him, last but not least, is Andrew Pip Smith, who week in, week out is improving, I must say. And I'm looking forward to watching Andrew have a good race tonight. Jeff Aboom in the Aston Martin is in P17 this evening, and I wish him the very best of luck. Everybody's on the medium tyres, and as I say, we're now lining up for that old race, and I'm just going to jump on with Dystopia, the best guy to spectate with at the minute. Just waiting on that last car joining the grid. And a couple of people made mistakes there. Linsky and Schmitty didn't park so well there. So we're waiting on the lights. It's a sprint race. It's Spa and it's PRF1 and it's the Lauda division, and off they go now. And it looks like Trappy and Godwin have both got a reasonably good start. And I'm just trying to keep an eye on everybody round this first corner. Wee bit of touching with the kick. Oh my goodness, that's not good. That looked like Shaggy and possibly Schmitty there. But there was a little bit of touchy-feely going on there as they absolutely express up this hill in lap 1 here in Spa, Belgium. And Godwin has just nosed ahead of Trappy here, and I'm just going to ride on board with Trappy once I just check that everybody gets round this corner successfully, and it looks in general a fairly clean start to this race this evening. Look at that Alpine making an inside move there. That's the SDRS Racing, and he just took or tried to take Shaggy, and Fuse Demon got a corner cutting penalty and gained 1 place, and he's got 10 seconds for that, and Fuse will be absolutely furious at that. And there's a guy going wide there. So lots going on in the early stages of this sprint race. So Godwin's holding the lead, but Trappy's right behind him. Let's go on board Trappy on the fastest part of this course. Let's see what speed he gets up to here. He's approaching 200 miles an hour. Is he going to dive for him? No, he's not. Thinks better off it. Takes that right-hander, keeps the grip nice and firmly on the tarmac, and just pushes that accelerator down nice and slowly. And he's got DRS here, and he's going to make a move, but there's not enough room for him to do it. Oh, cheeky bit of defending there by Godwin, and a little bumper top just to let you know I'm here. Godwin, Trappy's on your tail, and you better watch out. Up the hill they go, 8th gear. Doesn't jump down into 7th. He will hit the DRS zone here, and he'll make an easy pass on this Ferrari of Godwin as Trappy takes the lead of the Spa Grand Prix sprint race going into this right-hander, slams on the brakes, takes out corners very smoothly, and he's off on a really good start this evening. Bouncing down to Dystopian in 5th place, and he's chasing down PRF1 Viper in the Mercedes. So as I thought, it's tight going, and there's a Mercedes very, very wide there. Was that Viper? I think it was. Just don't quote me on that. But Fuse Demon's right behind him. But Fuse is carrying that terrible 10-second penalty, but he will race for pride on the track no matter what. Going down to Shaggy, and he's in the he's in Miko in the Alpine, and there's a close little battle going on here, which you would expect in it's every tight together. DRS zones are within each other, and there should be some very close. And he's squeezing, and can he make an inside or an outside move here? I'm not sure he can, so he's just going to have to form an orderly clue. Oh, he goes wide in the Alpine. Miko loses his place there, and Shaggy takes the 8th position and moves up very, very nicely. Just going down to Gareth Minimad. He hasn't had the best of starts, and he's in 13th position at the moment, but he's on the box of Mike Legend going up this hill, and let's just see if he can make a move here. But it looks like all 3 cars will have DRS zone, and it'll be very, very difficult to make the pass. But let's see. He's the man, and we'll just see if he can do it. He's using, and he's making the move, and he's going to take this Ferrari successfully, and that puts Mike Legend behind him, and he makes the move beautifully, and he's now chasing down Clem in the Williams. Nice move, Gareth, up into 12th. Going right back to the race leaders, and we're on with Trappy, and there's a Trappy 3-way sandwich going on here. He is the filling in between the Ferrari and the Haas at the moment, and Axel, he is trying very, very hard to get under the back of that Aston Martin and make his first move to try and get into the 2nd position. Let's have a look at the penalties. It's just that 10-second penalty at the moment. Everybody's on the mediums, and we will then look at the fastest lap, which is held at the moment by Axel in the Haas. Axel's up 4 places from his starting position, as is Linsky, with SDRS Racing up 3, lap 4 of 8 laps this evening in this sprint race. And there's a real battle going on here for the 1st, 2nd and 3rd positions, and it's a very healthy one at it. And that Aston Martin of Trappy is making an inside move, and they're keeping it fairly clean, and that was a difficult move to make there, but Trappy's insisting to try and get past Godwin and try and get some space. But there's no space being left whatsoever. These 3 are bumper to bumper, and this sprint race is living up to its expectations this evening. Come on, Axel, you can do it, sir. Miko gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, so he's crossed the line more than 3 times, or 3 times. Going to bounce down to Shaggy. He's trying very, very hard here in the 8th position. This is a great position for Shaggy, and I think there's a move going to be made here on this Red Bull, but he's not getting much room. He's going to have to go for an outside into swing inside, and he's going to try it, and he's just not getting any room whatsoever, and there's a big defence. He's dive bombing up the side, but he can't make that stick. He's going for the outside move, and while he's doing that, the Alpine of SDRS Racing also made a go, and I think he just tried so hard there but didn't make the pick. Tries once again for the inside move, but the Linsky's Red Bull picking is working very well, keeping that Kick Saba behind him at this stage of the race. I'm going to give Schmitty a little love here. I always like to give Schmitty a little look in. He hasn't had the best of starts. Wow, it's an inside. No, it's not. He thought about it. And that car in front of him of Jeffaboom makes him and lets him easy pass into 14th position, and he's now chasing down Mike Legend in this Ferrari car. Just jumping on board with Linsky. Miko goes a bit wide, a bit of time. He was very, very close behind him there, but just lost out round this right-hander. But there's nothing between it. It's tight, 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 as we all would have thought. Just bouncing down to Andrew. Andrew's in the Haas. Trying his little heart out every week he does. He never misses a race. This guy is always here, a very, very loyal driver to PRF1 every single night. I must admit, I love watching him. He's trying so hard, and every single week he improves week on week. But here come the three race leaders at this moment in time. Trappy's trying to hold off Godwin, but he has no success doing that. He's going to get a double overtake, and the Haas of Axel takes him as well. So Trappy just got a double banging there, and now he's going to have to follow. And Godwin has now taken a very, very slight lead, but there is nothing in it between these three cars whatsoever. And I do realise that this is going to be a battle of three right to the end, because they've now separated quite considerably from Dystopian. But Dystopian, if anybody can pick up the 2 seconds, he can, but he's only got 2 laps to do it, so it's a very, very big task, especially with these three in each other's DRS. So I wouldn't be putting any money on Dystopian catching them, but I do think he is going to be securely in P4 at the end of this race. But I can't take my eyes off these three, and Godwin is just dictating the pace here as he recharges his battery round this fast left-hander, and he's going to prepare himself for yet another fast lap. Let's just see what battery he's got. He's got 100% of battery. Axel's only got 57, and Trappy's got 57 as well. So Godwin's in a majorly good position here to defend the rest of this race. This is lap 7 of 8 laps in Spa. This is your sprint race. I'm Gavin Bass 1, and this is PRF1 Lauda Division, and it's a sprint, as you know. Dystopian has pulled in a little, bringing him back to 1.9 seconds. But Slippery awarded with a 3-second penalty there for track limits, so he has just nudged outside of the white lines again this evening. So Godwin is first, Axel second, Trappy third, Dystopian 1.8 behind now, and Viper Shaggy's in sixth, but Fuse Demon is in seventh with a penalty. SDR is on the box of Fuse, and Miko, he is in ninth, and he is also chasing very, very hard against SDRS Racing in the Alpine. The two Alpines are together, and they're having a bang at each other, and Linsky is in 10th in the Red Bull here, and he's defending off Clem in the Williams in P11. Gareth Minimad 12th at the moment in the McLaren, and Mike Legend in 13th. Schmitty has 14th at the moment, Andrews in 15th, and Jeff Aboom in 16th. And I've just had a message from Slippery Salmon. Yeah, back to the old setup it is. Car was sliding everywhere. Yeah. Setups are really vital in this 25 game, more so than I think that was in the 24 game. We're on the last lap now, and look at this. There's an overtake from Axel, and he's having a bash on the outside now of the Ferrari, and also Trappe takes him, and there's a real fight going on for this P1 position, and I cannot take eyes off this top three this evening. So it's Axel, Trappe, and Dystopian did a great job pulling them in by 1.8 seconds behind from about 3 seconds. So he did great, and a well-deserved fourth is going to go to him. But who's going to get first position? It's going to be an absolute sprint down this fast part of the track here. And Trappe is going to try very hard to get it. And here we go. Can he make a late move? Can he take the lead of Axel? Can he dive bomb up the inside? No, he can't, and he won't. And it's going to be for Axel. Followed very closely by a P2 with Trappe. P3 is Godwin. Dystopian normally gives us a good old wiggle, which he does over P4. There's a bit of a touch on P5 with Viper and Shaggy there. And we've got 6th SDRS Racing, Shaggy's in 7th, Clem's in 8th, Gareth Minimad gets a 9th, Miko 10th, Linsky 11, Mike Legend 12th, Andrews in the 13th position. And that is your sprint race. Yep, Gaz, I would totally accept that from spinning. Yep, absolutely. Not a bad result, sir. Good racing. So there you have it. I'll just go down them once again. It's Axel, Trappe, Godwin, Dystopian, Viper, SDR Racing, Shaggy, Clem, Gareth Minimad, Miko, Linsky, Legend, Andrews, Pip Smith, Fuse Demon, Jeff Boom, Schmitty, and back in the DNF was Slippery Salmon, who went. So they've it over again, and thank you everybody who has joined the stream this evening and are watching the PRF1 Lauda division in their sprint race, the feature race for this evening's in Belgium in Spa. Quite a tricky little track, and not too sure. I haven't raced the 25 game yet, I don't think, in Belgium, so I'm not really totally up to speed with what the tyre situation here is. But I do reckon a lot of people will probably make it a two-stopper, and I'm sure there will be a few will attempt the one-stop. Staying up and getting ready for the quali. I think they'll probably just jump into the quali quite soon, actually.
Domestic powerful, unstoppable. Now introducing new Domestic H ball. What is the hardest to reach places? New Domestic H ball.
I'm going to go on with Linsky. Slaps it round that right-hander. And DK has joined the session, trying to join the race as well. Right enough, I forgot about DK. Don't know where he was this evening, but he's trying to get in late, if he's able to join or not. So here come the times. Fastest lap, Trappe 141. Trappe puts it in pole with Axel second at a 141.596. Godwin third, Dystopian. So the four guys that got P1, 2, 3 have qualified P1, 2, 3 and 4, with Viper in 5th, Shaggy 6th, Clem 7th, Gareth Minimad in 8th with a 143.463. Linsky was in 7th. Trappe, you are a cocky wee bollocks. I love it. Well done, sir. Well done, sir. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, sir. So there you have it. Got down to Linsky in 9, SDRS in 10th, Miko in 11th, and Fuse Demon 12th, Mike Legend in 13th, Andrew Smith in 14th, Jeff in 15th, Slippery Salmon disqualified, and as was Schmitty. So they failed to get a lap this evening. Slippery is apologising. I'm such an idiot. I don't know what happened to Gaz. So I think the guys will probably want to have a little break now of 3 or 4 minutes before they start the race in earnest. We will get a formation lap, so this gives me a little opportunity again just to play a few wee highlights from Monza in last week. And they're go, 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 go in Monza, and off they go. Darthush has got a great start, and I'm just going to look in behind here and just make sure everybody gets round turn 1 cleanly. Oh, there's somebody off there. Looks like a Red Bull. Was that Linsky? I'm not too sure. But that turn 1 is always a terrible corner, but looks to be that everybody else got a fairly decent start there. Let's just see, was that Linsky? Wheel-to-wheel racing going on here on the first lap in Monza this evening with PRF1 Lauda division. There's a Ferrari making a move in the outside there, and he makes it stick, and he passes beautifully. I think that was Godwin making a move on Daddy Day Snipes. But tight stuff going on here. Let's just ride on board with Darthush. He's on a bit of a roll as well, and he's wanting past these two cars in front of him. And here goes the first move, and he makes that beautifully past that Aston Martin, and he's going to go for a double move, and he's going to take that. Oh my God, he takes two of them in one go. That's Darthush, and he's on a blast here at Monza, and he is showing the drivers how to do it as he approaches Hosty now, and he is absolutely cooking like a Novan chip this evening. And let's have a look. Yep, this guy has got pace to waste. I don't know where he's getting it from, but he's just making like these other drivers have stopped dead as Darthush goes right up the tail of Godwin in that Ferrari, and I honestly fear for Godwin here because the pace of this kick and the driving capabilities of Darthush right now is exceptional. Outside move. Is he going to do it in the Ferrari? Yes, he is. and Godwin's not going to let him have it too easily. Outside and inside to go round by each other. But yes, Darthos makes it stick, and he now puts himself in the second position. And I think in the last 8 months, this is the best bit of overtaking I have seen in quite some time. And I would say to you, sir, take a thickened bow. That was unbelievable and incredible for our viewers to watch. I'm Gavin Bass 1, this is PRF1, and this is Monza at its very best. Oh, he's got a lot of pace here coming out of that corner. Can he make it move? He can, and he's going to say goodbye to Spreader. And Dystopian puts himself up into 4th position. What an example of patience and maturity, and he makes it work. But I'll tell you what, Spreader will not take that line down, and Schmitty has just got himself a 3-second penalty. So have a look at Darthos. He's a... So we're back to live racing. Quickly going down the positions, Trappy in first, Axel in the Haas second, in the Ferrari Godwin, fourth in the Racing Bull is Dystopian. On board the Mercedes this evening is PRF1 Viper, and in control of the kick is Shaggy. Clem the boss is in P7, Gareth is in 8th in the McLaren, Linsky in the Red Bull is in 9th, and 10th is SDRS Racing in the Alpine with his teammate Miko right behind him in 11th. Is Fused Demon and Mike Legend right behind him in the Ferrari, who goes a bit wide there on the formation lap, and Anson 14th. 15th is Jeff, and Slippery Salmon in the McLaren is in 16th. Schmitty and DK is in P18. So DK did get into the race, and he's starting from the back of the grid, and it'll be interesting to see where he ends up this evening. Look at the angle of that Aston Martin. Trappy means business, and he wants to hold that P1 position. And they're away. And Trappy seems to have made a reasonably good start, and Godwin is right behind him, and he's going to take the inside of the Haas of Axel, and Viper has made a decent start as well, along with Dystopian. So it's Trappy, Godwin, and just let's have a look right down the grid here, making sure everybody... Oh, there's an off there. There's an off. I'm not too sure what happened there, but somebody had a really bad accident. No yellow flag, no safety cars so far. Racing has continued. Lap 1 in the feature race here this evening in Spa with PRF1, and I'm Gavin Bass 1. This is your Lauda League. but nothing separating the full field at the moment, as they are all more or less within each other's DRS zone now. And just look at DK up in the P10. Wow, unbelievable. 10 places in just over half a lap. Well done, DK. And he is on a roll here. Fastest lap, Trappy, 1:47.304, but that'll not stay there for long. There'll be somebody definitely knock that off its block, that's for sure, but it's still a really good lap. DK just touches the back of that Alpine. And he's going to try and get himself into P9 now up the hill. Can he do it? He's got 30% of battery left, so I'm not too sure he's going to have the power to take this Alpine at this time. He might be better trying to preserve battery. He now knows that that's not going to happen, and he'll go into reserve mode for a while and build up some energy to make a move later on in the race. Has a little look up the inside, but nothing happening. Shaggy's just got himself a penalty, which is unfortunate because he's in 6th position at the moment. Viper needs to try really, really hard to get on the back of this car of Dystopian, or he is going to fall away, which I think he has, and I think he's left it too late now, and these 4 guys in front are going to get away. There's no doubt about that. And up the hill they go, all of them in each other's DRS zone, and this is just a carbon copy of our sprint race earlier on. On board with Shaggy, 653. He's in the kick and he's chasing down the PRF1 Viper in the Mercedes, and he is trying very, very hard to try and gain the position in the number 5 spot if he can. Nice bit of driving, Shaggy. That's very, very smooth, sir. You're taking every single centimetre and you're gaining and you're trying very hard. I hope you get onto the back of Viper and get yourself right in it. You're still in the DRS zone, so just give that as much of a squeeze as you can and you'll be there, sir. But just have a look at Trappy. Trappy's got himself out of the zone, and he's now just over a second ahead of Godwin. And Godwin and Axel are both going to have to try very, very hard now to try and catch this Aston Martin, because he's on a roll right now. Godwin takes the lead over Axel, but he is still in P2, and no better man to try and chase down Trappy. And these 4 guys are going to then get back on the DRS train of him again. Let's have a wee look at the tyre situation. Quite a mixed bag here. 3 laps of mediums and 3 laps of hards. And the top 5 guys are on mediums, so that makes absolute sense. And Shaggy, Clem, SDRS Racing and Mako are all on the hards, as in Fuse Demon, Jeff Boom and a Slippery Salmon. I'm just going down to P12 here because Andrew's just made a move on DK, and that's a really good overtake to be taking DK. Has DK got damaged by any chance? Yes, he has. I just thought that because his pace has gone off. So DK has had an incident and he's lost his right end plate, and DK is going to have to make his way into the pits as he now gets overtaken by the Mercedes of Schmitty, putting Schmitty up into P13 and Andrew into P12. Godwin just puts in a 1:45.855, and there's a battle going on here with a car with no end plate, and he has gone off the track, and he just made an absolute bollocks of going into the pits. And I must admit, DK, that is so easy to do. Those pit lanes just come right up you at as quick as possible, and I think you're going to have to just play the patient game and just focus and try and get yourself back in it. No, DK has retired. DK's throwing the toys out, and he has given it a bye ball this evening, so that's unfortunate for DK. So let's go down the drivers one by one in their positions on track at this moment in time. Trappe is in front, but now Godwin has got himself right back into the DRS zone, and Axel is a wee bit behind, and he's trying very, very hard in P3 to get back on into the race with Godwin and Trappe. Dystopian is doing what Dystopian always does, and he's racing very, very patiently, and he's always there and thereabouts. Lovely to see Shaggy in P5. He's having a great race, and I must say, very, very smoothly. It's noticeable, and keep it up, sir. PRF1 Viper is in 6th in the... Dystopian gets an unwanted penalty for sure there, and that will be a disaster for him at the end of the race if he's still in the running. Just look at this Alpine of SDRS Racing. There's your penalties, 3 for Shaggy, 3 for Dystopian, and the 2 leaders are penalty free, and that will stand by them. The biggest gainer so far is in the P13, off in P17, so that's a nice 4 position upwards move for Schmitty. Also SDRS Racing in 7th, and he's doing a great job there in 7th Viper, and he is wanting that 6th position very soon. Will Viper let it go? Don't think so, not very easily anyway. 2 good drivers in front of him, and Axel now picks up a 3-second penalty. Wow. So Trappe and Godwin penalty free, and Axel is now in the penalty club. So this is just turning out to be very, very interesting. Let's go on with Mako. Mako's having a go. Let's see. Nice wee battle for 6th position here going on. 4 cars all battling for it. In fact, there's 5 now. He's right on the back of Clem now, and he's trying so hard to make a move. Somebody goes away into the pits there. That was Fuse going into the pits, I think. Oh, what happened there? Missed an incident there. Don't see any damage to any of those cars. I think it just might have been a tap, I'm not too sure. But I'm sure if it was anything more than that, there'll be tickets in. All seems okay. But look at this outside move by the Visa. And he made it stick too. Can he keep it there? He just bumps right in front of him and he starts to defend, going down into this right-hander. Nice little battle there. Nice little battle. But it's the Trappe and Godwin show. These two are at it every week. They are battling and battling and battling week in, week out. And it's a real race of pride now. Can Trappe take the win this evening from Godwin in P2? And don't count out Dijsselbeen and Axel, but they've got a very big uphill struggle ahead of them, carrying those 3 seconds penalties. Quite a few guys going into the pits now, so just have a wee look at the tyre situation. There's the stops. Viper and Slippery Salmon have both had a stop this evening. And Godwin has found himself in the pits and he's making a stop also. So Godwin has put on the hard tyres. This just might give Dijsselbeen and Axel a chance. But nice move here from Godwin. Takes Andrew and he puts himself into 8th place. And remember, he has already had a stop. This guy is as smooth as butter. Every time I watch him, I admire just how smooth he is, and the pace that he carries round those corners is quite noticeable. And he is now chasing down this pass of Axel. And let's just see what they do when they pit. And off goes Axel. He's away in. Let's just see what he does. He's going to put the hard tyres in without a doubt, and he's going to then come out somewhere very close to Godwin, if not slightly in front. Let's just see. Oh, look at this. The Alpine and the Kick having a little battle. SDR Racing has just got himself up into 3rd place. That's a nice move. Again, anybody viewing tonight's stream, thank you very, very much for watching. This is PRF1 Lauda Division. This is the feature race of the evening after a short one-shot quali. And it's all to play for this evening. All eyes are going to be on Trappe to when he's going to make this pit stop and to where he's going to come out in this Grand Prix this evening. Wow, this Kick has pace. He's getting a lovely slipstream from the Alpine. Now to go up the inside. but he's not going to get it done. The Alpine defends really, really well there. That kick, the Alpine pits, and the kick goes up into third place on the track at the moment. But Trappe has now pitted. And let's just see what's going to go on here with Trappe as he comes out of the pits. He's back on track. And he's just come out behind Godwin, and quite a bit behind Godwin he is. And Clem is now in P3, and there's a big, massive race going on here between the Ferrari of the Ferrari of Godwin, Shaggy in second, and Clem in third. 3-second penalty for Andrew. That's the first penalty of Andrew this evening. On board with the boss. Clem takes that wide, Shaggy takes a penalty. Just down to Miko, he's in P11 and he's having a real good go at this McLaren of Gareth. Gareth sitting in P10. Let's have a look at the stops. Shaggy, Clem, Andrew and Fuse all to make their stop. Apart from that, the position are as they will be finishing in the race. Not as finished, but they will be true positions once these four guys make their stops. And I would say they'll make them quite soon. I think most of those guys are probably on the car. He's pitted. Clem in second, Godwin in first, and Trappe in third. But remember, Clem still has to pit, and it's going to be Godwin and Trappe right back in the race again. And don't forget Axel in P4. He's right there as well, and he's had his one stop. So he is trying so hard to get on to the DRS of this Aston, so that he has to win a position. Slams on the brakes there, and these two are battling in front of him, and in turn a real good chance to get back on to the Clem really quickly, as Clem just goes outside the line and picks up a 3-second penalty, and Axel's going to make pretty easy work of this, because Clem's tyres are now shouting at him, and Clem's going to have to pit on this lap, I would say. This is where Axel will make the move, and he'll make it nice and early so that he doesn't put himself under pressure. Clem tries to defend, but there's nothing in the tank to do so, and that move is made as they just touch wheels, and Clem is trying to defend in the inside. Oh, and there's a bit of a move there, and the hand of the driver goes up to say, what the heck's happening, guys? But it was nothing done, and he got away with it. That's okay. Clem stays out. So let's go down the drivers. We have Godwin, and he is 4 seconds ahead of Trappe. He's made one stop. Trappe is behind him. He's made one stop. Axel behind him in third. He's made one stop. Clem's in fourth, but he still has to make a stop. And Dystopian is in fifth and closing down quite rapidly in that Racing Bull. The Mercedes Viper, he's had a stop, and we're just waiting on Andrew to make his stop. But at this moment in time, he's P7 on track, but he will end up probably in around 12 when he pits, if that. Mad has had a stop, and he's now in P8. SDRS Racing, he is in 9th in the Alpine, and his teammate is right behind him in the Alpine also. Shaggy is trying very hard to make a move, and he is like an express train here following mine, and he wants to make a move early on, and we'll just him do it. He will do it before the end of this straight, that is for sure, because he's got pace and it's noticeable, and out the outside he goes, and that Alpine is trying furiously to defend, and they just need to watch each other going round this right-hander, and he makes that mistake, and he is now holding off. Sorry, he held it off, and well done to Miko for holding off that pick off Shaggy 653. But I don't think he's going to be able to hold it for a second time. Slippery gets his 3-second penalty, and the kick is now going to try the DRS move at the top of this hill, and he will say goodbye to the Alpine. But he just needs to be patient and get the right zone, and here he comes, and he'll make the move now. He'll squeeze the DRS zone, and he'll just express off now, and he'll make that pass very, very easily on the Alpine, putting him up in 10th place. Riding on with Gareth Minimad. In fact, no, we'll go down each driver. Miko is in 11th. Fuse Demon is in 12th in the Racing Bull. Linsky is all the way out on his own in this Red Bull. And poor Schmitty is in the Mercedes. But he has an Aston Martin of Jeff on his tail, with the Ferrari of Mike Legend not too far behind him. And at the back, Slippery Salmon is just not having a good night tonight. So Trappe is now trying to chase Godwin down, but he doesn't have an awful lot of battery. Godwin's got 30%, Trappe's got 25%, so it's just going to be drivability and pure skill to get onto the back of this Ferrari, and I think he will do. Locks up the front right there. That's going to be hard on the tyres, but he's trying very, very hard. 1.5 seconds behind Godwin right now, and Godwin will be managing this. Every time he sees Trappe coming close to that 1 second gap, he will squeeze that as best as he can to try and keep Trappe away. But Trappe has nothing in the tank at this moment in time. Some down. The patience that gets this one. Let's go on with. Is now making a move on the Alpine, and he makes that nice move. Here, and he also got a clean sheet. Viper, Dystopian and Axel, all three carrying penalties, and if Gareth can make some moves here, he could find himself on the podium. Lap 14 of 22, and this is starting to get quite exciting. I tell you who's really fast at the moment, and that is this SDRS Racing, sorry. Yep, he is flying at the moment, and he is chasing down Viper in P5. Andrew still to make a pit, but I think he's doing it now. No, he's not. Gareth Minimad is in the pits. Why is he in the pits? He's gone for a two-stopper. So he's on the fresh set of mediums now. and he has a nice advantage. Let's just have a look at the tyres. So Gareth's on a fresh set of mediums with 7 laps to go, and he's fighting against Clem on one set of mediums, or 1 lap of mediums as well. But Andrew is very vulnerable with the 14 lap hards, and so is Viper in the 8 lap hards. So this is going to be a real battle here to the end of this race. But just look at Trappy. Trappy has got himself right back to where he wanted to be, and that's on the box of Godwin's Ferrari, and he's in P2 at the moment. Both of them running a clean race, and this is going to be a battle of the drivers because their tyre situation is very similar, although Trappy has 2 laps less on those hard tyres with 7 laps to go here at Spa in Belgium. There's your penalties. I don't need to tell you what's going on here, but Axel and Dystopian are both carrying 3 seconds, and Shaggy's got 6 seconds. So those positions, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, are vulnerable if anybody can get up there. Nice move by the Aston Martin here. And he just takes the inside of Godwin. Very, very tight racing going on here. That was tight, but it worked. Just jumping down to Shaggy. He's having a good race here this evening, although he's carrying a 6-second penalty, but he's racing well. It's just unfortunate he has picked up those 6 seconds of penalties, but he's driving very smoothly despite them. Oh, somebody's off. Somebody's off. It's Viper. Viper spinned it, and there's a yellow flag. He's picked up damage as well. He's lost his right end plate, so he's going to have to pit, and that is the end of the race for Viper. I can't see him recovering from that. Oh, Viper will be very cross at himself for that, and that puts Gareth up into 7th place with 5 seconds to gain on Clem. Remember, Gareth is penalty free at the minute, and he's chasing. Miko has had a DNF as well, so that's the end of the race for Miko. But let's have a look at Fuse. Fuse is trying to make a move here on the Ferrari, and he does, and he makes a beautiful move on the outside going down to the right-hander. He'll slam on the brakes here, and he'll take the apexes as he does, and he made a beautiful move to put himself into 10th position here. Quite a bit of separation on the track now. But Andrew's having a go here. Come on, Andrew. Let's make good things out of this Ferrari and get yourself up into P11, sir. Loads of battery to do it. You might want to wait until you go up the hill. Let's just see. I'm going to stay on board here because I really like to see Andrew doing well. Nicely into that right-hander. Keeps the traction nice and solid round there. And he's got this Ferrari exactly where he wants him. And he'll gain position on this corner as Slippery picks up another 3-second penalty. Slippery is having a nightmare. That's really nice driving, Andrew. I must say, that is really nice driving. Well done, sir. Noticeable. Shaggins of penalties in total. He will not be a happy man. Oh, Andrew goes way wide there. That just takes him a wee bit off the pace now, and he has a bit of work to do to get himself back onto the Ferrari of Mike Legend. Let's jump on with Linsky. There's an outside move being made in him, and Shaggy just takes Linsky on the outside there. A wee bit of touching went on. Can Shaggy make a double move here? Yes, he can. And he makes that one work as well. He's just throwing caution to the wind now, and he's putting every single centimetre into this corner to try and get off into a little space of his own in the clean air. Up with the race leaders. Trappy's just ahead of Godwin at the moment, and he's pulled out of the DRS zone, so Godwin has a little job to do, and he doesn't have an awful lot of battery to do it with. Neither has Trappy, so they're both very much on equal terms at the moment. But again, as I said, Trappy has tyres 2 laps less wear than Godwin has, and he just might pull away. He's now dominating the race, and he's in a position of strength, and he is pulling away into a 1.3 second gap, and that seems to be increasing lap by lap. So as long as Trappy doesn't make any errors, he's only got 2 laps to hold off here, and all he needs to do is to keep Godwin right out of that DRS zone, and he has got himself a race win. There's your position changes, and the biggest loser this evening is Viper. He's down 8, and that's after that horrible time that he had earlier, which he will be very annoyed about. But sure, come back next week and have another go. Lap 22, and they're just crossing the line now, just 21, and I'm just going to ride on board with Gareth Minimad because he is trying so hard. and he's got 2 seconds to try and find in 2 laps. Let's see what Slippery Salmon gets another 3-second penalty, and he is just having a mare. 9 seconds in total. Shaggy's got 19 seconds. Now Clem has got 3 seconds and Gareth is now 2 seconds behind him. So Gareth has got a P5 here right now with the differences in penalties. He also is gaining and he's making a really good move to try and get it on track. They are still having a bit of a battle, but again, Dystopian is just outside of the DRS zone as Trappy pulls away 3.2 seconds ahead of Godwin, and those extra couple of laps plus his ability of driving has just made this an easy end to the race for him, and he will just dominate and stay clean, and he has nothing to worry about now because there's no way that Godwin can make 3 seconds up. Just going to bounce back to Gareth here. Sorry to be going on with him. That's making a real chase for this P5 position on track, and he is really trying hard. So on with the race leader. This is Trappy, this is the Aston Martin, this is Spa, and this is the last feature race in Belgium this evening. Did Gareth make the move? Will Gareth make the move? He's trying, but I need to go on with the leaders and bring them home. Your race winner for this evening in Spa is Trappy in the Aston Martin, followed by Godwin in P2. A nice bit of a wiggle from Godwin. P3's Dystopian, a wee wiggle from him as always. Round the corner comes Axel in the Haas in P4 on track. Over the line he goes. And we just caught the inside move of the McLaren on Clem. Can he do it on track? Does it really matter? Doesn't, because Gareth is going to get P5 over Clem anyway. And Shaggy comes over the line in P7, Clem in P6. And here comes SDRS Racing in 8th. And a real squibble behind that. It looks like Linsky gets in 8th place, 7th for SDRS with the penalty. Fuse gets in 8th, and Andrew Pip Smith 10th, Mike Legend 11th, and here we go. Viper 12th. And that's the end of your race this evening. This is Tuesday night, and this was PRF1 Lauda Division at Spa in Belgium. Troppy does the splits, puts his hands in the air. He will receive. Will he put it in the air? Oh, of course he will, because he is gloating. He loves the win. And there goes the celebrations. Troppy, race winner, fastest lap, Shaggy. Gareth Minimad, driver of the day. Yeah, I would really agree with that, to be honest with you. Fuse Demon, most overtakes, and the cleanest driver was Troppy. Troppy had a as well, so I would split the driver of the day between Troppy and Gareth Minimad, to be honest. Really, really good, clean racing in general this evening, lads. Well done. So, as always, I will log out this evening by saying well done to every driver on the grid tonight. Commiserations to those who didn't finish. And also a big shout out, as always, to the owner, the stewards, and the administration staff for PRF1 for always putting a really good league together. Some of you to race in. All I can say from my heart is I'll see you next Tuesday night. I'll be you and nothing on to do the comms for the Hamilton division, which hasn't kicked off yet in rail. But from PRF, I was Gavin Bass 1, and it was my pleasure.
Gavin Bass one on the microphone. The energy is high, feel the vibe in the zone. Engines roar as the lights go down. Racers ready, it's a battle for the crown. Who will rise? Who will stand tall? On the top step, they'll answer the call. With hearts racing and spirits ignited, the champion's moment is finally sighted. Adrenaline pumping, the crowd is alive. Speeding through corners, they take the dive. Every lap counts, the stakes are set. In this game of skill, there's no room for regret. Listen closely, hear the engine scream. Chasing glory, living the dream. Battles unfold on the asphalt track. In pursuit of victory, there's no turning back. Feel the thrill as the tires grip tight. Under the stars, everything feels right. Each curve a story, each turn a chance. In this high-speed dance, we all advance. As the checkered flag waves, the night concludes. The champion shines in the spotlight's hues. With the roar of the fans, they take their